Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It's September 22nd, 2023, or 23rd, September 23rd, 2023. And we just witnessed an absolute epic comeback at the Olympic Stadium in Montjuic, where Barcelona came back from a loss of 0-2 at the 80th minute to win the match 3-2. Crazy match. And I got all the analysis of the match for you. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the post-match live analysis, which is after every single Barcelona match. Once it ends, I will be here streaming live to analyze everything that happened in the match, the players' performance, the substitutions, the tactics, etc. As always, we'll talk a little bit about the match, and then we'll head to the chat section and do some questions, get a discussion going. And before I begin talking about the match, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. And if you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you head to Bet Us. Both links are down below in the description. Now let's start with today's match, today's epic comeback that just ended. This was the 6th match of this La Liga season, where Barcelona played against Celta Vigo at home at the Olympic Stadium, Luis Companys, and where Barcelona were losing 2-0 up to the 80th minute. And then 2 goals by Lewandowski and 1 by Joao Cancelo sealed the absolute epic comeback by Barcelona to finish the match 3-2 and to rescue 3 very important points that will be very crucial in this La Liga race, because we have a very tight La Liga race with Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and surprisingly Girona, who are currently sitting at the top of La Liga table and who have started the season firing on all cylinders. Now, tomorrow, Real Madrid will be playing against Atletico de Madrid. We'll see what happens, but for now, Barcelona will will be leaders of the table. And we'll see, hopefully, best case scenario, of course, are Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid end up tying, or that Atletico Madrid win because they have lost the match before. So if any of those 2 scenarios happen, we can ensure that we stay at the top of La Liga. Now, let's talk about today's match, because it was an absolute incredible comeback by Barcelona. In my opinion, this win completely thanks to Xavi Hernandez readjusting his tactics, making the right substitutions, which is something that he has been criticized for a lot in the past. People always said, oh, Xavi doesn't know how to adjust to matches when things start to go bad, or doesn't know how to make substitutions. That was not the case today. Xavi read what the match needed, made the right changes, made the right adjustments, made the right substitutions. And thanks to that, Barcelona ended up sealing this comeback and taking home 3 very, very important points. Now, having said all that, this was still not a great match by Barcelona. I'm still very, very happy the team won. Still very, very happy and euphoric thanks to this comeback. But nonetheless, this was not a great performance by Barcelona, but it was an improvement from previous matches where Barcelona have faced the same kind of circumstances. Now, allow me to explain, because Barcelona once again faced a Celta Vigo who does what Celta Vigo do best, which is park the bus, close all kinds of spaces, defend as a low block, and then rely on the counterattacks. And up to the 80th minute, that had worked really, really well for Celta Vigo. They had completely shut down Barcelona. We had only had 2 clear chances, which were Ferran Torres' chances that he missed. And they were able to score 2 goals. And if it wasn't for Ter Stegen, Celta Vigo could have easily scored probably 5 goals. So up to the 80th minute, Celta Vigo's plan had worked to a perfection. Barcelona had absolutely no response to what Celta Vigo were doing on the field. Once again, we saw the repeat of the old Barcelona before the signings of the Joaos, where Barcelona were constantly just moving the ball very slowly, not circulating the ball fast enough, no fast transitions, no combinations, no mechanisms, no triangulations, none of that. Just moving the ball slowly and hoping for some kind of miracle. And of course, Celta Vigo, being the very disciplined defensive team that they are, they were able to shut everything down. Now, Barcelona, thankfully, or Xavi Hernandez, I should say, was able to read what was going on in the match. He made the adjustments. At first, it wasn't the right adjustment. After the halftime, he went to a 3-4-3. Started the match, of course, with a 4-3-3. Switched to a 3-4-3, and that's when Barcelona started suffering a lot. Celta Vigo started making a lot more attacks, creating a lot more danger. So then Xavi reverted back to the 4-3-3, but with some changes, with Rafinha playing as an interior, with Lamine Yamal and Joao Felix staying out wide, which was something that Barcelona were not doing throughout the entire match. Barcelona continued to try to go through the middle for the most of the 80 minutes, and that was not working because Celta Vigo were shutting down those interior corridors. So once Xavi made the adjustments with Joao staying out wide, Lamine Yamal staying out wide, that stretched out Celta Vigo's defense, which created more spaces through the middle. And that's how we saw the 3 goals in a span of 6 or 7 minutes. And thanks to Xavi Hernandez reading the situation, adjusting to it, it's how Barcelona were able to seal this comeback. But nonetheless, Barcelona still have a lot of work to do. We're still not very good when it comes to low block defenses. We still need to learn how to unlock these defenses. But as I said, this is an improvement from previous matches where we've faced the same circumstances because Xavi Hernandez was able to adjust, was able to make the right substitutions, and more importantly, the team did not give up. And that is absolutely huge because 80th minute, you're down 2-0 at home. Most teams would have put their hands up and said, oh, well, on to the next one, but not this team who continued to fight until the last second. And thanks to Xavi's tactics, plus the team not giving up, we were able to seal this absolutely epic comeback, taking home 3 very important points. Now let's go to the chat section and do a few comments, answer a few questions. Then we'll talk about the formation. We'll discuss certain players, but for now, let's see what you guys are saying. A lot of people were waiting. Sorry about the delay. I need to start scheduling these live streams a little bit more accurate. I had initially scheduled it for 2:30, thinking that that's when the match was going to end. But of course, we had those extra 7 minutes once the match ended. So it ended up taking a lot longer for me to set everything up. But thank you for those of you who were waiting. Thank you for those of you who have already joined. Again, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And let's see. Turtle Islam says we should start strong with our best lineup, score early, then start with the subs in the second half. They had to use Balde anyway in the end. Unfortunately, you can't do that every match because you have to rotate players. You have to rest players. You cannot start always with your strongest lineup because when you do substitutions, you're doing them at the 60th minute. So that means that your starters are always going to play at least 60 minutes of every match. And sometimes they have to either play the last 30 minutes or not play at all in order to rest them. So yes, in an ideal world, you would always start with your strong lineup, score, and then switch things up. But in the real world, unfortunately, that's not practical. Chuchu says, I keep telling you, Romeo isn't quality. We're going to get killed playing a top team with Romeo starting. Absolutely wrong. Romeo had a great first half. I think you're the only one in the entire world that thinks that, Chuchu. Every football pundit, expert, coaches, you name it, they all can recognize the absolute beast of a pivot or defensive midfielder that Romeo is. And I think that Xavi erred in taking him out and switching to that 3-4-3, and that's when Barcelona started to suffer a lot more. Had Xavi kept Romeo and made other changes, I think it would have went a lot better. All right, let's see. What else? That is a lot of comments, guys, and I'm trying to Let's see. Casanova says he's a better pivot than any other in La Liga. Absolutely agree with you if you're talking about Romeo. By far the best pivot this season in La Liga. And we are going to need him a lot against stronger teams. I have no doubt that Xabi will start Romeo against stronger teams because the way he covers the midfield, the way he's always, if you rewatch all the first half of today's match, Romeo is always in the right place at the right time. How? I have no idea. I don't know if he has some kind of teleportation abilities, but he's always at the right place at the right time. The way he uses his body to protect the ball, he's an absolute bull. There's no doubt one of the best signings that Barcelona have made in a very long time. Milian says, Romeo is not Busquets yet. He had a lesser game, but defensively well. Don't forget how he unlocks Frankie. Another great point by Milian. Not only is Romeo an absolute defensive beast and a bull in the middle, but the reason why Frankie's having such a spectacular season so far is thanks to Romeo, because Romeo allows Frankie that freedom because Frankie knows his back is covered. He knows that if he pushes forward, loses the ball, it's not a problem. Romeo is right behind him, ready to recover that ball. So double benefit right there. You get an excellent performance by Romeo, which also allows an excellent performance by Frankie de Jong. One more, and then we'll continue discussing the match. We'll discuss a little bit the lineup. Fibsy says, Cancelo did have a shitty game at first, almost caused a goal against us. Glad he recovered after the subs made himself important. Yes, I do agree. Cancelo made two critical mistakes that could have caused 2 goals against us, but nonetheless, scored that third goal. And I don't want to say he necessarily had a shitty game. I think the entire team did. I think a lot of Celta Vigo did a really good job of shutting Barcelona down, but he did have those 2 critical mistakes. So I do agree with that. All right, now let's get back and talk a little bit about the lineup because there were several changes throughout the match until finally Xabi got it right. He started, of course, with a 4-3-3 lineup with Ter Stegen in goal, Joao Cancelo on the right back. And now, actually, is this big enough? I think this is big enough. You guys can see that, right? All right, Joao Cancelo on right with Jules Koundé and Christensen as center backs, Marcos Alonso on the left back, Ilkay Gundogan and Frankie de Jong as interiors, Oriol Romeo as a pivot, and of course the front 3 with Ferran Torres, Robert Lewandowski, and Joao Felix. Now, Ter Stegen, undoubtedly the MVP of the match. Yes, Lewandowski had 2 goals. Yes, Cancelo scored the winning goal. But nonetheless, it was thanks to Ter Stegen's saves that this game was ended in 3-2, because if it wasn't for his saves, this match could have been 3-5 easily, maybe 3-6. So undoubtedly, great performance by Ter Stegen, still showing his absolute top form. Ever since he got his hair implant, I think something was in that hair, some kind of magic, but he's been absolutely phenomenal. And in the defense, and when I was watching this match, Koundé absolutely was imperial. He was completely stopping everything. And Christensen was too. And the whole time I'm watching this match, I was thinking to myself, Ronald Araujo has his work cut out for him to earn back his starting position the way both Koundé and Christensen were playing. But then as soon as Ronald Araujo came back, I said, never mind. Because Ronald Araujo, despite not playing a full match, despite just coming back from injury, I think he absolutely showed us that he's undoubtedly a definitive starter on the team. He was absolutely a beast. Several saves, but not just that, the way he has improved his ball control, because Araujo has always been a good defender, but he always lacked kind of that driving the ball forward. But he has improved that a lot. And once he came in, completely improved the defense. And he's undoubtedly definitive starter on the team. I don't think he has his work cut out anymore. Now, the question will be whether it be Koundé or Christensen. Right next to him, I think Koundé is just a tad bit better than Christensen. But not to say that Christensen is bad. Christensen is still an absolute phenomenal center back. and we have three of some of the best center backs in all of Europe, and we're very, very blessed as far as that. Marcos Alonso, someone who everybody loves to hate on, he actually had a good first half. I don't want to say he had an excellent match, but good first half for Marcos Alonso. He was good defensively, but more importantly, was very good in those deep runs to the back line. He was combining well with Joao Felix, but of course that was overshadowed by the excellent defense of Celta Vigo, who were completely stopping anything that Barcelona were proposing. On the right, Joao Cancelo, very, very active. I think if I pull up his heat map, probably the whole field would lit up. He was everywhere. He was in the midfield. He was dropping back to defend. He was attacking. Absolutely one hell of a player, one hell of a signing. And of course, scoring that third goal for Barcelona, which gave us the very important victory. Now, we do have a donation, so let's see what Crispy Chicken is saying. Where is it? Why did it disappear on me? There we go. Crispy Chicken says, Chuchu has a tendency to not know what he is talking about, so I just ignore him when it comes to game analysis. Thank you, Crispy, for the donation. And let's do a few more comments, and then we'll keep talking about the lineup and the specific players. Let's see. I don't know how to say that, so I'm just gonna say scroll. Scroll says CV spectacular counter and their ability to Celta Vigo spectacular counter and their ability to clog the middle was destructive, but I wouldn't say it's a full parking of the bus. They outplayed us. It was a parking of the bus because they used a line of 5 defenders, 3 center backs, and 2 forwards, but most of the time they were defending with 10 men, only leaving 1 guy up front. And that's pretty much the definition of parking of the bus. Did they outplay us? Yes, absolutely. They outplayed us, but that doesn't take away the fact that they did park the bus. They do something which Barcelona lacks a lot, and it's those fast transitions that I always talk about, those fast combinations, those fast passes. And that's how they were able to cause a lot of damage, scoring 2 goals, could have easily scored 3 more. And that's what Barcelona were really lacking against Celta Vigo today, and what Barcelona are always lacking against slow block defensive teams. All right, Moose says, guys, at the end of the day, we are all Barca fans, even if we have different views about the players. Visca Barca. 100% agree. At the end of the day, we all want to see the same thing. We want to see our players do great. We want to see our team do great. We want to see trophies and wins. We can all disagree, but we're all Barca fans. So let's keep the debate respectful, and let's keep, cordial debate. That's what I wanted to say, but I couldn't think of the word. All right, let's get back to the lineup and discuss a few more players, because this is where I think Xavi made the mistake and was starting Frankie de Jong. Not because Frankie is bad, before you guys get mad at me, but because Frankie de Jong needs rest. Frankie has played every match of La Liga season. The Champions League, of course, we only had 1, but still. And he did play with the Netherlands during an international break, and I really, really think he needed a break. I think Frankie should have been rested this match. He wasn't, and we did see him leave the match injured. Now, I don't want to alert anyone because it's still a little bit too early, but there are already reports talking about Frankie de Jong could be out until November. Now, this is, of course, a problem because Pedri is already out. Pedri's not coming back until the end of October. So this could be a problem, but it's too early to say because Frankie will still have to undergo medical exams. So we probably won't know for sure until tomorrow. Usually the day of the match, they'll do some tests, but most of the time they don't do really deep tests until the next day because they need to, ice the leg or whatever part that's been injured, wait for the swelling to go down because you can't really see that well as far as imaging, x-rays or CT scan or whatever. You can't see the area that well when there's a lot of swelling. So he will have to undergo more extensive medical exams tomorrow, probably. So we won't know until tomorrow. But early reports are saying that he could be out until November. Hopefully that's not the case. But I really, really think that Frankie should have not started this match, that he should have been rested. Romeo, again, really strong first half, covering the ball always really well with his body, being in the right place at the right time. He even had a couple of really good diagonal passes. Incredible signing by Barcelona. I think Xavi made a mistake when he took him out during the second half, and that was evident immediately because once we switched to the 3-4-3, Xavi did a line of 3 center backs with Christensen, Conde, Araujo, and then Romeo came out, and we had a 3-4-3 lineup. Immediately, Barcelona started suffering. Celta Vigo were creating a lot of chances, a lot of danger. So I really think Xavi should have kept Romeo if he wanted a more aggressive lineup, and I'm sure we will see that. And I'm sure Xavi did learn his lesson because immediately Xavi readjusted, brought back in Balde, and went back to a 4-3-3 formation. Ilkay Gundogan, and I keep saying this, but I keep seeing it every match. He just keeps getting better and better and better with every match. He's definitely positioning himself as the guy who sets the tempo of the attack. The way he's all over the map, dropping between lines, conducting the ball, distributing the ball, he's absolutely become the guy who sets the tempo of the attack. Today it didn't work as well, but not because something that Gundogan did. It was more, merit of Celta Vigo's defense, who were able to shut the interior corridors of Barcelona, and where Barcelona continued to insist to go through the middle until the final 10, 20 minutes where finally Barcelona started using the wings a little bit more. And also I did see there are 2 or 3 chances where I think Barcelona could have created something, but Gundogan did not really anticipate the pass right. There's still lack of chemistry between him, Lewandowski, and other attackers. But of course, this will come with time, which is good because it means that there's still more ceiling for improvement for the team, because we still have new players that are still adjusting to their teammates. Now, the attack in front, I think there's not much to say there because they were absolutely helpless, powerless. There was not much they could do. Ferran Torres, very quiet match by Ferran. He did have 2 clear chances that unfortunately he ended up wasting. But I have to say this, and that's that I think Ferran Torres should start subbing Lewandowski, because when he played in the box, we saw, both chances that he got was him running into the box through the middle rather than through the wing. So I think Ferran Torres could be a very much good substitute for Lewandowski whenever the Polish striker needs rest, because we will have to rest Lewandowski at some point. He has still played every single match so far. Of course, you can see why. Today's the perfect example why Xavi always plays Lewandowski, because goal runs in his blood. He has a great nose for goal, and today scoring 2 goals in a little less than 5 minutes, which is an absolutely amazing, which of course, a big way to shut the haters up, especially those who kept saying Lewandowski's old, we should sell Lewandowski, we should offload him. Absolutely crazy that people would even say that when he just finished last season, not just as the champions of La Liga, but as a top scorer of La Liga. Joao Felix, a little bit more quiet today versus the last 2 matches, but of course we can't expect him to have an excellent match every single match. But he did his part, provided an assist, the assist during the first goal to Robert. And of course, we will have these kind of matches where not every player is going to be excellent. It's just the nature of the game. Now, let's do a few more comments, and then we'll talk about the substitutions and a little bit more notes or thoughts about today's tactics and today's match. And let's see what you guys are saying. Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Where did we leave off? All right, let's see. Ricardo says we need to play these kind of game. It's good for the young players to learn. I mean, it's not just the young players. I think the whole team still learning how to play against low block defense. Like I said, we still got a lot of work to do, but it is an improvement from what we've done in the past. Andreas says we lack intensity. Think they had midweek game in mind. I don't think we lack intensity at all. If anything, the intensity was really good. That's the reason why the team was able to score 3 goals in a span of 6 or 7 minutes. I think just Celta Vigo were superior. Simple as that. They were really good at shutting down everything that Barcelona were doing. So I don't think it was a matter of intensity. Madusuran, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but he says Fermín Lopez also deserves a chance now, since now both Pedri and FDJ are out. 100% agree. I know I forgot to mention this last live stream, but Fermín Lopez, I kept thinking of Firmino, but that guy is in Saudi. Fermín Lopez actually had a really good performance in the Champions League match. He only played 20 minutes against Antwerp, but he was very active, making really good runs, combining really well with his teammates. So yes, I think Fermín Lopez 100% deserves another chance. All right, Ofori says, I thought Lamine used to play in the midfield at La Masia, so can't we deploy him to play where De Jong is playing if he will be out for long? Lamine is more of a winger than he is a midfielder. He can play in that position, but his ability is better used on the wing, because he can make the field that much wider. He can he dribbles, so he can definitely unlock defenses from the wings. So using him through the middle, it might give you that extra dribbling ability through the middle, but then you're sacrificing your wings, which are very, very important when it comes to Barcelona's style of play. And we have a donation from Marek, who says, Mo, do you have some update on Frankie injury? So I just mentioned it a few minutes ago. Some reports are saying that he could be out until November, but of course we won't know for sure until he undergoes extensive medical exams, which usually doesn't happen until the day after the match, once the swelling's gone down. So we won't know for sure until tomorrow, but some are saying that he could be out until November. Okay, so let's finish up talking about the lineup, because there were several substitutions. Xabi Hernandez ended up using all 5 players to substitute. We saw, of course, Frankie de Jong. That was forced due to injury. He came out, and Gabi came in. Another excellent match by Gabi. This guy is an absolute, it's insane. The heart the intensity that Gabi plays with. I mean, he plays every match like it's the final of the Champions League and the team is losing 0-1 and it's the minute 89th. Absolutely amazing. Great assist in that 3rd goal. Amazing vision seeing Cancelo make that run. Great timing, impeccable timing. And then, of course, great accuracy putting the ball right where Cancelo was and helping with that 3rd goal. Of course, we did see Oriol Romeo and Marcos Alonso come out, with Xabi switching to that 3-4-3, which real quick, Xabi noticed that it was a mistake because Barcelona started getting, a lot more exposed. So he switched back to the 4-3-3 with Alejandro Balde coming in as the left back. Very important role by Alejandro Balde, contributing a lot to the attack with, his hallmark runs to the back line. Lamine Yamal doing his part, making the field that much wider by staying out wide, him and Joao staying on the left, and that way opening those holes in the middle by stretching Celta Vigo's defense, which allowed Barcelona to score all 3 goals. I think if Xabi hadn't realized that Barcelona really needed to stretch the field out, I don't think we would have been able to score those 3 goals, because if it wasn't until Lamine and Joao started going really wide that those cracks opened up in the middle, and that's how all 3 goals were possible. So really good read by Xabi of the match, really good readjustment, because that's what allowed Barcelona to score all 3 goals. And then, of course, Rafinha creating the 2nd goal with that incredible pass to the box. And of course, it's too early because we only saw 20 minutes of this, But I think Rafinha might be a better position for Rafinha might be that position that he played in today, with more of an interior attacker, if you may, versus on the wing. Because we all know Rafinha has a very hard time dribbling past players, which kind of makes him, a little bit of obsolete on the wing. But through the middle, he looked really good. But of course, he only did it for 20 minutes. So this just might be a coincidence. Maybe not. But I would like to see Xabi maybe use Rafinha more towards the middle, especially against low block defenses, with Lamine Yamal staying on the right. Because that's what's going to stretch a defense, is having players who can actually dribble and make it to the back line. That's what stretches the field. That's what stretches defenses. Because when Rafinha is out on the wing, defenses already know he can't dribble, so they don't come out to mark him. They stay in the middle. They keep the middle congested because they know he's not going to do much. But when you have a player like Lamine Yamal who can cause that kind of danger, then that's when defenders really have to come out to defend. You have Joao on the other side, Felix, who can also do the same. So that's when defenses get stretched out. That's what happened today, leaving the interior corridors open. So I think if we can have Lamine play on the far right, with Rafinha coming in more through the middle, taking advantage of those cracks, I think that would be a better role for Rafinha, because regardless, Rafinha, even when he plays on the wing, he does like to cut towards the middle. So that might be a good position for him. I don't know. We'll have to see. But it definitely worked today. So I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Crispy with another donation. Let's see. Where did it go? There we go. Says, I think Chuchu needs a ban. He's a little ticked off, to say the least. All right, guys, let's keep it civil, please. I'm glad that you guys are, discussing, debating, but let's not fight each other. We are not the enemies here. We're all supporting the same team, and we should all be on the same side. Unless there's a Madridista in the chat section, then I would be attack him. Just kidding. I wouldn't say that, but let's all be respectful to each other. All right, let's do a couple more comment section. What am I saying? I can't even speak anymore. Let's do a couple more comments, and then I'll end the live stream with just a couple more thoughts about today's match. What a comeback, guys. What a comeback. Okay. Let's see. All right, guys. You guys are filling out the chat with your fighting. So it's kind of hard for me to find. All right. Who gives a fuck? Great YouTube name. Says the squad proved something. 8 minutes, 3 goals. 8 minute guys, 8 freaking minutes. Yes, absolutely. The team proved that they're in it to win it, that they have the heart, that they're willing to fight until the last second. And of course, there's still work to do, because we still need to learn how to unlock low block defenses. Moose says, anyone realize we made history today? Barca has never come back to win after being 2-0 down. Is that true? Because against Copa del Rey, the last season where Messi played, I think we were down 2-0. And we ended up winning 5-3. So I'm not too sure if that's true. Again, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure we were down 2-0 in that Copa del Rey match. And we ended up winning. And I think we drew 2-2 in like extra time. And then it went to, in stoppage time. And then ended up going to extra halves. And it ended up 5-3. So I don't know if that's the first time. But I have to look into it and let you guys know. All right, what else? Let's scroll up, because I know I missed a lot of comments. Whew. Let's see. Madhu Sudan says, this kind of games wins you the championships. These points actually determine the title at the end of the season. Great comeback win. Thoroughly enjoyed. Barca for life. Love from India. 100% agree with you. These are the kind of matches that do win you points, because championships, because you end up taking home very, very important points that otherwise you would have lost. So yes, I agree with you. And also Barca for life, 100%. All right, so let's end it with a few more remarks about the match today, because I think as great as this comeback was, I think it was important to see how exposed Barcelona were against low block teams. Because after the two great matches against Real Betis and Royal Antwerp, a lot of people were getting ahead of themselves, talking about Barcelona winning a treble and Barcelona winning the Champions League. And I kept saying, hold on, guys. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a lot of work to do. This is still a new project. This is still a team under construction. And today showed us exactly that this team still has a lot more work to do. We'll still have a lot more things to learn, because we still don't know how to play against low block defenses. Yes, we improved a lot from previous matches where we had the same circumstances, where Xabi was actually able to read the match better, was able to do the right adjustments, the right substitutions. And yes, we also improved in the fact that the team did not give up, but we still have a lot more work to do. The road is still very long. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're on the right path. We're doing great, but we still have a lot more work to do. So let's not start saying we're going to win the treble, because we're still far from that, but we're definitely on the right path. That's the last thing I'll say. I'll do a couple more comments and then we'll end this, so you guys can go and celebrate this absolutely amazing comeback. I'm actually, you know what I'm going to do? Actually, right behind me. I don't know if you see. Wait. There. Right there. There. This is hard to do. Right there. That's the match from today. It's actually playing it right now. So as soon as I end this live stream, I'm going to go forward to the 80th minute and watch those 10 minutes again, because it was an absolutely glorious 10 minutes. So let's see. Christoph says, I think the rotation was well needed because the players are obviously suffering from fatigue. Just look at Frankie. His injuries obviously from the overload on the football calendar. 100% agree. And Xabi said yesterday in the pre-match press conference that he's going to be rotating 2 players per match. So expect more rotations, because we're going to be playing, I think it was 7 matches in the span of a month. You know, we had the Champions League match on Wednesday. Then we have another match, I think it's on Friday, then another match on like Tuesday. I mean, it's insane. This calendar is absolutely insane. And then right after that, another international break. I mean, something needs to be done about this calendar. This is not good. This is not healthy. I know these, organizations like UEFA, FIFA are trying to make money, but at what expense? At the players' health expense? I don't think that's worth it. We have another donation from Crispy Chicken. Thank you so much for your donation. By the way, I had crispy chicken yesterday, and it was delicious. I love crispy chicken. He says, we need more likes. Yes, please, guys. I actually can't see it using the streaming software, but please make sure to hit that like button. It really, really helps this channel continue to grow. And one last comment. Adeoye, I hope I said that correctly. He says, hey, Mo, I love your channel. Always watching your channel whenever I come to YouTube. Watching from Nigeria. Thank you for the love and thank you for the support. And with that, I will end this live stream so you guys can go and celebrate today's amazing comeback. And I hope you guys have a great Saturday. I will see you later tonight in tonight's video, a news video. So thank you again. Enjoy. And of course, I can't end this without saying, Visca Barça.